All right, welcome everybody. I'm here with our brave soldier Andy today, and we are going to just kind of get to know Andy a little bit more, and that was me. Get to know Andy a little bit more and talk about what some of the NFL stuff that's happened so far. So, Andy, let's get this started. Be prepared. You got 3 seconds to answer. Okay, so
Okay,
we're
I
going to
got
move
you.
quick on this one. Favorite NFL team.
New England Patriots,
Favorite college football team.
Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh
I
Lord.
know I'm gonna get some
Number
slack for that one.
number one. Okay. Best concert you've ever been to, or like kind of music that you're into. What do you got?
um, Kind of wide variety of music, anywhere from rap, hip hop, R&B to country. We live here in Raleigh, so been able to go to a decent amount of concerts across the board from because they all come to Walnut Creek. So not a particular like favorite artist, but yeah, like a different
Best
variety
concert
of
you've been
music.
to lately, or this year?
Luke Combs. Luke
Luke
Combs was
Combs.
good.
That's a good one. Cool. I
So,
was up at the RBC. I saw Ghost. Phenomenal.
okay.
Phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm a go. I am part of that now. So
Okay.
love it. What is your favorite vacation spot or best vacation you've been to? You a mountains, beach guy, go overseas? What do you do?
Yep. So we're big cruise people. We started our first cruise was I think in 2017, actually the first year my wife and I started dating. And we've gone on one ever since, every year ever since. So been pretty much everywhere in the Caribbean. We plan to do eventually like a Mediterranean cruise. So mainly like Royal
That would be cool.
Caribbean. We did, I think Norwegian was the only one that we did like initially early on. So
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Cruise. It's been like 15 years since I've been on one, and it was a short one. And then we have one already planned for a Caribbean cruise in 26. So
okay,
I'm
nice.
feeling you on that one. So what do you do in your spare time? I know a couple of things about you from our work before what you do, but what's your kind of spare time thing?
So spare time, obviously, we have a 2-year-old, so spending a lot of time with Lainey, that's her name. But then if I'm not doing that, I'm either working out or playing basketball. I
Okay.
played college basketball in college at Methodist University, but then yeah, just trying to stay active as much as possible. So
Awesome. Mother's maiden name, childhood best friend, and the street you lived on when you were a kid.
so we're just trying to get Social Security. You just should ask me for my Social
Oh no,
Security
no,
number.
no, no. Those were straight up. I'm just wondering, trying to know more about you as a person because I care. Um, okay, favorite toilet paper brand?
Charmin Ultra Soft.
Charmin. You're a
Yeah.
Charmin guy. Okay. How many squares? Or how many
Uh,
squares? Is it three?
like
Are you a two
it's like
square?
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I'm making
Gotcha.
sure I'm not wasting anything.
All right. And last but not least, who and when did you lose your virginity?
All right, Kyle, we're going too far.
Okay, so fourth grade, gym coach Ferguson.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I heard about that. I wonder if they ever caught that guy. Anyway, um, so tell us about your fantasy football team so far. What do you
Yes,
think? What are your teams today?
I think at least the one that we're playing in, right? I think I have good like overall starters. And I have a couple of subs that like whenever bye weeks come on, especially for like Devon Chan and Jonathan Taylor, that I can sub Jalen Warren in there for a week here or there. And kind of literally just kind of fell on their card white thing with Bucky Irving being out for potentially more significant than 2 weeks. Fingers crossed on that one. But literally just picked him up on the waiver wire like that Saturday or Sunday before everything kind of came out in the news. Wide receivers, if you, I mean, you've been in the league just as long as I have, but I try to lean more on my wide receivers for like flexes and trying to get more the majority of the points. So JSN's been a blessing in disguise. Got him in the 6th round last year and decided to keep him. So top 5 so far, knock on wood. Keenan Allen, everybody was like, "What the hell is this, like Lab McConkey's team, right?" Um, so I mean, that was like a late round, and That was like I think my last wide receiver of the draft that I could select, right? And then I fell on hard times last week. Shane actually sent me a meme that Zach Ertz went like I think it was like since like 2017, he's caught at least one pass in every single game, and then like last week was his first week that he didn't catch anything. So
Well, we knew from the beginning it was going to be, hey, you waited on the tight end, and so
yeah,
did I. Luckily, I don't know how, but Dallas Goddard turned in the Travis Kelsey 5 years ago. That was just lucky. Um, I will say on your team so far, other than the Lamar,
uh-huh.
you're one of the teams that has benefited from injuries to other people's teams to
Oh, for
help
sure,
yours, or
for sure.
you haven't had any of those major injuries like Lamar may have been out a week or two. Like Shane's had three guys that are out for the year. um, me, my team
Yeah, yeah,
was all O's for like the
yep.
last 2 weeks or Q's. So and just some other guys I know, Josh, Randy, like everybody's just it's been a
Yeah,
crazy cr- we say it every year, it's a crazy year. This year
literally.
is quite literally week to week is different, and it
Yep.
doesn't make any sense. And you'll have a guy that's just going off, and Lad McConkey is going to be awesome, and he doesn't do anything for 3 weeks, and so now everybody's afraid to get rid of guys and
Right.
trade for guys because they don't know how
Hmm.
it's going to be over the next week or two. Are they going to
Right.
sit out? Is he really healthy now? So it's been a crazy year. Congrats to you for starting off well. Again, yours was the team that I said from the beginning. I like your draft. And if I could do it all over again, let's rewind it back. Imagine if when I took Drake London, I took Jonathan Taylor instead. Then you
Oh
probably
yeah.
take London. Our
Hmm.
teams look different because my next pick is probably a wide receiver somewhere. Your next pick is probably a running back somewhere.
Right.
So we can play this game, but that's one where we were back to back and we knew like whoever I'm taking, you're taking the other. And
Exactly.
they obviously JT has worked out well for you.
Very
Um,
much so.
and speaking of, here's the crazy thing, and me, analytics, looking all the stuff over. Through 5 weeks, your starters have scored more than double the touchdowns that my starters have. You have
Wow.
37. I have 18. 18 total touchdowns through 5 weeks. Half of those are Goddard and Waddle who never score. So you literally have backup or like Keenan Allen has more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson and Drake London combined.
That's crazy.
So you when you look at the thing, you go, hey, this is a great start to the year. And then other people that are kind of treading water are going, like myself going, hey, it's not as bad as it seems. Yeah, like my team looks brutal, but if a guy scores a touchdown here or there, or my the wide receiver doesn't get dragged down the end zone, and the running back gets the ball at the
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
like Cam Scadaboo twice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like two 1 yarders just because there was penalties in the end zone. But that's why you play fantasy. You never know it from week to week what it is. You can go from scoring 160 to 100. You can go from
Exactly.
scoring uh 109 or 91 like I did to 174 the next week.
Yep.
So
That's
you're
literally what
you're
did against Travis. I
yep,
was in
yep.
like the 150s, 160s, and then against Travis, um, granted Lamar got pulled. I don't think it would have made a difference. He was still up by a significant margin, but I barely scored 100.
Yeah.
And I got a text message from one of the guys and said, "Welcome back to reality." So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I mean, I understand."
And then you're back up and you played it well. You picked up the right guy at the right time, like CJ Stroud,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
throws for more touchdowns in one game than he has for the last 10 weeks
All
combined.
season, yeah.
So but it's a funny way to look at fantasy is just knowing the differences in the way teams are constructed, the way that you look and some people that may not normally try to get consistent guys because they just don't score a lot, and so they're taking more risks for guys who
Right.
would go off and score 35. But um, what do you think the rest of the year for the NFL? What's a couple of bold predictions from you? Not even fantasy wise, but
Okay.
just some bold predictions that you think of guys that may have not done well so far that are going to catch fire, or guys that have been awesome that are not going to do well, or even teams right now. Kansas City 2-3 or whatever.
Yep. So I think just taking a look at the landscape, I think Kansas City sneaks in. They always find a way, right? Whether that's an acquisition at the trade deadline that kind of propels them. But
Alvin
I'm going to
Kamara.
go off on a limb here. Yeah, exactly.
I hope so.
I'm going to, yeah, for your sake. I'm going to go off on a limb here and say potentially that the Detroit Lions make it to the Super Bowl and actually win the Super Bowl.
Ooh, Detroit Lions Super Bowl winner. You heard it here first.
So
Are the Ravens going to make the playoffs?
let's see. They can. I think they still can as long as Lamar comes back. That's a weak division. I don't foresee the Steelers like running away with it. I think they actually are susceptible to losing this week against the Browns.
Yep.
Just because that defense for the Browns can get after Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers isn't mobile anymore. So we'll see how that goes. But in the NFC, I could see an NFC West, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can see an NFC West team, whether that's the Rams or the Niners, like playing against Detroit in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, something's wrong with the Eagles. So we'll see
Definitely.
if they can get out of the
They
funk. So
within the next 2 weeks, I could see them letting go of the offensive coordinator.
yeah, yeah. He's just a placeholder anyway. But
Yeah.
the funny thing, going back to the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs were like 10-1 in one-score games last
Yep.
year. 0-3 so far this year. That's going to change. They're going to have Rice back. I do like the Detroit thing. Obviously, I think Detroit may be one of those where it's just the offense and the Dan Campbell is going to be better than the coordinators. Not that Ben Johnson wasn't good, but this is a third one that now. I mean, they're leading the league in scoring, so it's obviously a culture and a scheme thing that Dan Campbell has in there.
Right.
But cool. Okay, so we got Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Good for all you St. Brown and Gibbs and golf owners.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, man, I appreciate it. It's been, wow, we're looking at about 15 minutes, almost exactly on the thing, on the nose. So congratulations for the first 5 weeks. I think you've been the high score 3 of them so far. So we'll just have to take you down.
Yeah,
We're coming after you.
I'm trying to stay level-headed for sure. So.
Hey, stay level-headed because those injuries are about to start piling up.
Oh
so,
gosh, thanks. Appreciate it, Kyle.
You'll come back to us. So, all right, dude. It's great catching up. We'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, man. All right, buddy.
All right, later.